Over 4,500 years ago, in the desert outside Cairo, someone built a mountain out of stone. And even today, experts still can't fully explain how they did it. This isn't an alien story. It's better than that. It's about real people, with no iron tools and no wheels, who stacked 2.3 million blocks of stone, some as heavy as a truck, into a shape so perfectly level that the difference across the whole base is only about 2 centimeters. And here's what most people don't know. In 2023, scientists scanned this pyramid using particles from outer space, and they found something. A hidden corridor, sealed shut, untouched for 4,500 years. By the end of this video, you'll know why the Great Pyramid is still making headlines today, and why the story you learned in school is probably wrong. Let's go inside. Most people believe the pyramid was built by slaves. Whipped, starved, worked to death. It's a powerful image, but it's mostly a myth. In the 1990s, archaeologists found the graves of the workers who built the pyramid, and what they found surprised everyone. Bakeries, breweries, signs that these workers ate well. They were buried close to the pharaoh, an honor, not a punishment. Some even had broken bones that had healed, which means someone took care of them. So who really built it? The evidence points to regular Egyptian workers, skilled builders, plus farmers who came in during the flood season, when their fields were underwater anyway. It was more like a national project than a prison camp. That already changes the story. But it doesn't answer the bigger question. How do you move a 70-ton block of stone hundreds of miles with no wheels? We don't have a perfect answer, but we have a good one. In 2013, archaeologists found a diary. It belonged to a man named Merer, one of the actual workers on the pyramid. It's the oldest handwritten document ever found. In it, he describes moving stone blocks by boat along canals connected to the Nile River, right up to the pyramid. That solves part of the puzzle. But getting the stone there is one thing. Lifting it 300 feet into the sky is another. Scientists in Amsterdam think they found that answer too, hiding in plain sight. Old Egyptian paintings show a man pouring water onto sand in front of a giant sled full of stone. For years, people thought this was just a ritual. Turns out, it's real physics. Wet sand can cut the friction of dragging something heavy by almost half. What looked like a religious ceremony was actually an engineering trick. And here's something else most people don't know. The pyramid you see today isn't the one ancient people saw. The outside used to be covered in smooth, polished white stone, capped in gold. It would have shined like a mirror in the sun, visible for miles. That outer layer was stripped away centuries ago and used to build other things. What's left is really just the skeleton. But even with the ramps and the wet sand explained, there's still a part of this pyramid nobody can explain. And this part isn't old news. It's happening right now. In March 2023, a team of scientists pointed a special scanner at the Great Pyramid. It uses particles called muons, created when cosmic rays from space hit our atmosphere. Trillions of them pass through your body every day. But they move differently through solid stone than through empty space. So scientists can use them like an X-ray, without drilling a single hole. What they found was a corridor, almost 30 feet long, sitting right above the pyramid's main entrance. Sealed, untouched, never seen by modern eyes. At first, experts thought it was just there to support the weight of the stone above it. Nothing exciting, just engineering. But not everyone agrees, because the ancient Egyptians rarely built something in their most sacred monuments for just one reason. and this corridor points straight toward the still unexplained center of the pyramid. Then, in 2025, the mystery got bigger. Scientists scanned a second, smaller pyramid nearby, the Pyramid of Menkaure, and they found something similar. Hidden empty spaces behind a strange, smooth patch of stone that people had wondered about for over 100 years. It looked exactly like a second, hidden entrance. Nobody has opened either of these spaces yet. Right now, both are still sealed, hiding whatever is inside. And that brings us to a theory that experts can't fully rule out, that somewhere deep inside the Great Pyramid, there's a room that has never been opened, and that everything tourists walk through today might just be the outside layer of a much bigger secret. Now let's clear up the myths, because this pyramid attracts more wild stories than almost anything on Earth. Myth 1. Aliens built it. This idea became popular in the 1960s, mostly from one book with no real evidence behind it. But the truth is even more impressive. Mera's diary, the workers' graves, and the markings found on the stones themselves all prove exactly which human teams built this pyramid, and when. The ancient Egyptians left records. Aliens wouldn't have needed to. Myth 2. The pyramid secretly predicts the future through its measurements. This idea was popular in the 1800s, but it falls apart because if you're allowed to pick and choose which measurements matter, you can make almost any large building predict almost anything. It says more about human imagination than ancient Egyptian engineering. Myth 3. There's a curse on anyone who disturbs the pyramids. This story comes from 1923, when a different tomb, King Tut's, was opened, and a few people connected to it died over the next few years. It made huge headlines, but statistically, the death rate among everyone involved was totally normal for the time. It was a newspaper sensation, not a curse. Take away the aliens, the prophecies, and the curse, and what's left is actually more interesting. Real people, real engineering, and a real mystery still sitting under the sand, waiting for someone to finally look inside. So here's where that leaves us. We now know the pyramid wasn't built by suffering slaves, but by a respected, well-fed workforce. We know the stone likely traveled by boat, and that a strange ritual in old paintings turned out to be real science. We know the shining golden monument ancient people actually saw is long gone. And we know that as recently as 2023 and 2025, brand new technology has proven that this pyramid, the most studied building on Earth, is still hiding secrets. Sealed corridors, hidden rooms, spaces no human has seen in over 4,000 years. The Great Pyramid has had over 4,000 years to give up all its answers. It hasn't. And maybe that's exactly why we can't stop looking at it. Not because of magic, but because even now, with all our science, it's still one step ahead of us. So, what do you think is behind that sealed corridor? Because right now, nobody actually knows. If you'd like to more about Mysteries of World, subscribe now.